Hi guys, let's start with the question of the day. So the question goes like a patient had a binge of alcohol in the late night party he attended. He woke up finding an inability to extend the wrist. The type of nerve injury he has sustained is likely going to be A. Neurotomesis, B. Neuropraxia, C. Complete nerve transaction injury, or D. Axonotmesis. So for this question, first you try to answer it yourself, then I'll discuss it. In this question, first you need to know about the structure of a nerve. So, nerve, it is surrounded by a outer covering which is known as epineurium. Like epidermis, we have epineurium, covering of the nerve. Inside you have endoneurium, and endoneurium it is covered by perineurium. We have a lot of fascicles, and the fascicles are covered by perineurium, and inside the fascicles you have a lot of endoneurium, and in endoneurium you have axons present. First you need to know the structure of the nerve, that is epineurium, perineurium, endoneurium. Okay, now the classification of nerve injury. We have two types of classification. First is Seddon's group and the second is Sunderland group. So the bigger name has 5 subtypes and Seddon's has 3 groups. First A is neuropraxia. What happens in neuropraxia? Like praxia means weakness. So it is physiological conduction block. There's no anatomical damage, 100% recovery, and most commonly recovery occurs within 6 weeks. So the treatment here is just to wait and watch. For example we will discuss later. Second, it is axonotmesis. In axonotmesis, there is injury to the axons plus minus endoneurium, but there is no injury to the epineurium, perineurium, nothing. And here Tinel sign is positive. What is Tinel sign? We will discuss that also. Then third is neurotomesis. Neurotomesis means complete transaction of the nerve. It is seen in most commonly in open fractures, and here the treatment is surgical repair. And Tinel sign is positive here also, but it is static. So first I will discuss about Tinel sign. What is Tinel sign? Tinel sign, it is used to assess the regeneration of the nerve. It follows the law of projection. Law of projection, it states that we can only stimulate the damaged nerve, that is the myelin sheath, when it is affected. We cannot stimulate physiologically damaged nerve like neuropraxia. In neuropraxia, no anatomical damage is done, only physiological damage is present. That is, so here in neuropraxia, where there is only physiological damage, the Tinel sign is absent. Tinel sign will be absent here. But Tinel sign it is positive in axonotmesis and neurotomesis. And what happens? What law of projection says? It states that when we stimulate an anatomically damaged nerve along its course, we have to close the eyes of the patient, and when we tap at the point of the damaged nerve, the free endings will be stimulated. Then there is the tingling sensation will be present. But Tinel sign, this is a PYQ, it cannot tell you about the site of the lesion. It will only tell you about the speed of regeneration and the regeneration of the nerve. And if in question it is asked, only one you have to select in which we have C positive Tinel sign. So answer will be axonotmesis. Mark this. In both the Tinel sign, axonotmesis and neurotomesis, Tinel sign will be positive, but in axonotmesis, mark this. Now what happens in Sunderland? First is again neuropraxia, that is physiological conduction blocks. Second is axonotmesis. Third is type 1 plus type 2 minus endoneurium. Fourth, it is perineurium is also involved, and in fifth, epineurium is also involved. So these are two types of classification. First you need to know the types of classification, what is involved, what happens in Tinel sign. Now let's see this image. So this is a normal nerve in which you can see epineurium, the covering. Then you can see many fascicles which are covered by perineurium, and inside you have endoneurium, and here axons are present which is covered by the myelin sheath. What happens in neuropraxia? So neuropraxia, nothing is happening. Physiological conduction block is only there. Some pressure is there. This is happening in just in neuropraxia. Complete recovery will there. Exontomesis. What will happen in exontomesis? In this, there will be some injury to the axon, but plus minus endoneurium. Neurotomesis, the whole nerve is gone. Everything is injured here. So this is an important image. You need to know about this. Now let's see the question. He had a binge of alcohol in the late night party attended. He woke up finding an inability to extend the wrist. So first you will tell me which nerve is involved. Okay, the radial nerve is involved. Everyone, we all know that this is Saturday night palsy. And what type of nerve injury has sustained is likelihood? It is neuropraxia. Why? Because it is very common. Often when I used to also study while preparing, I used to also sleep in some ill-mannered position, and then there will be some neuropraxia which will happen. We all have faced this one time or another. So radial nerve is involved and physiological conduction block is there. It will be there's no need for any treatment. It will be full recovery will be there. No anatomical damage. So answer is B. But you need to tell me which splint we use if there is injury to radial nerve, because splints are very important. So answer will be B. You need to know this image, the classification and Tinel sign. You don't need to go in detail about Tinel sign. Just you need to know it is based on law of projection, and it only tells about the speed of regeneration of nerve, not about the site. And regeneration, it is assessed from proximal to distal. This is also important. Proximal to distal injury. So thank you guys. See you tomorrow with another topic.